YouTube is quietly removing channels that do this. You see, in 2025 alone, YouTube took down roughly 12 million channels from the platform, taking down YouTube is quietly removing faceless channels that do what I'm about to share with you in this video. You see, just in 2025 alone, YouTube took down roughly 12 million channels. And obviously you do not want your channel to be one of those. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how you can avoid getting your channel taken down. And you may be sitting there wondering, okay, Adam, like, why does this even matter to me? Why should I invest my time in watching this video? Because if you start a channel, you are, number one, investing your precious time into it, which you can't get back. So you don't want to be pursuing a channel that's not going to make you money. You want to do it in the right way. Number two, speaking of money, you're going to be investing your personal finances into this channel. We don't want you to be investing that money and then not getting a return out of it. And there's opportunity cost, right? So the opportunity cost is what you're giving up to make the decisions you're making. And so obviously you could be starting any business model, but you want to start Faceless YouTube. So we want to make sure that, again, you are putting your resources into the best opportunity possible. And that means understanding how your channel can get taken down and then avoiding that at all costs. Now, the question you may have in your mind is, can you even still make money with Faceless YouTube? And you absolutely can. One of my students making passively $3,000 a month. Feel free to go check out this channel after the video. Barely uploading, still making good money. One of my other students made 8 G's just from one single video, and this is pretty recent. So clearly you could still make money with Faceless YouTube, but you got to make sure that you're not going offside, and you need to make sure that you don't infringe upon what I'm going to share with you next. So what I want to do is I want to walk you through what I call the Bible of channel safety. So these are things for you to consider with your Faceless channel so that you can successfully incorporate AI into your channel that's going to make your videos better. You can produce more often, faster, at a lower cost, without having your channel taken down, demonetized, etc. Let's get into it. All right, so like I said, we want to keep you monetized, get monetized, and not get your channel taken down. That is the goal. So I'm going to walk you through some major factors that you need to consider, okay? Feel free to screenshot any of these different categories of things that you want to consider because they're going to be really valuable to you going forward. All right, so the first thing is humanization. So YouTube has been taking down channels that seem like slop, that are low integrity, low authenticity, etc. So the more that you can make your channel stand out as a channel that has a personality, has a real person behind it, the better off you're going to be. So I call this humanization. So give yourself a name on the channel. So you could say, hey, my name is Adam. Welcome to my channel about boats, etc., etc. Add personal opinions. So I personally think this is the best boat that you can buy based on these factors. When people usually talk in a channel that, is kind of like this, giving opinions, giving advice, etc., they're sharing their own takes as well as facts, right? But AI tends to just do facts only. So you want to incorporate the, some personal commentary. Again, you can just prompt this in when making your scripts. Give anecdotal or experiential commentary. So I actually tried this myself. Here's what I noticed. Again, that could be more relevant in certain niches like health, fitness, maybe job experiences you've had, etc. But this is, again, going to personalize things quite a bit. Make sure that you add some jokes or refer to other videos on your channel. It's very common for channel owners to say, hey, I mentioned this a couple of videos ago. Again, you can easily prompt this in just with whatever the topic was on a previous video. Have that be a little segment in your script. And this not only allows your audience to feel more connected to you because they're going to say, yeah, I remember watching that video, but it'll cover you from the monetization and obviously keeping your channel on the platform perspective as well. And lastly, reference audience comments. So you can just take a quick read of what people have been commenting on past videos and make sure that you have a little bit of items in your script that refers to it. So you could say, you know, one person in my last video said this, and here's why I think they're actually bringing up a good point. This is what normal creators do. If you watch on-screen creators, you'll see that a lot of them do just this. And so if you kind of model that, you'll be able to humanize your channel and really avoid most of the issues that you're going to have with demonetization and termination. But there's some other factors you need to consider outside of just what I've shared with you so far. Next, we have uploading. So if you are running a channel that is spamming uploads, clearly making more uploads than what would be reasonably possible even with a team, you're going to risk having your channel taken down. So never post more than one video per day. Most people don't do this anyways, so maybe it's not an issue for you. However, it's going to start looking like you're really doing some sort of spam production style techniques if you're uploading every single day, because who can really do that? So 3 videos, 5 videos per week is very reasonable whether you're on screen or not. So this is a lot safer. And also you're just giving yourself better time to actually ideate, to produce, to package your videos, to analyze your results. So the 3 to 5 might actually be better from a channel performance perspective as well. Vary your upload times. You know, a lot of people that are on-screen brands, they're going to just kind of prepare their video, package it all up, upload it, and just release it whenever they're ready. So you don't have to necessarily just haphazardly upload, but don't also upload exactly at, 5 p.m. local time every single day. Then it becomes a little bit too robotic. Next, avoid daily uploads, like I said, but especially if they're longer, because again, just doesn't really make sense that you can make that many videos in that short of a time. And don't follow rigid schedules. Now, moving on to the next thing is going to be a video format. If this is helping you out so far, by the way, and you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're doing, so hit the subscribe button. That's all I'll ask of you in this video. Okay, vary video length naturally. So when you're creating videos with AI, typically they tend to be very structured, and that's why people can tell if it's AI or not. Whereas humans tend to be a little bit more, have more variability in how they write and how they produce. And so this is why channels tend to get flagged pretty often, is because everything is so templatized, right? Or mass produced. So what you want to do is release some videos that are longer, some videos that are shorter. Now, you don't have to go 10 minutes and 30 minutes, but you might want to add in a 15 or 20 minute video every once in a while if you're doing videos that are normally 8 or 10 minutes, or do something that's shorter, like on the 8-minute end of things, just to have some variability. And mix in shorter videos occasionally as well. Longer videos still tend to be doing very, very well as of the time I'm recording this video right here, but it's just another factor to consider that, realistically, a person that's making videos without AI specifically even, they are probably having some videos going longer, some going shorter, just because of how they've put things together, whereas AI tends to just take the time limit and condense it down into what it needs to be. And so that's why you get that issue where your videos are all the same length. Okay, next are titles. So don't reuse the same title structure repeatedly. So how X did Y, how X did Y, how X did Y. That's going to be a little bit too obvious. Now, there is a little bit of a fine line and hard to decipher here, because on one side, that's going to look a little bit mass produced. But on the other side, if you do see something that's working, it's like, well, I want to keep doing something that's working, but better to take 10% off and get more rewards because your channel's not compromised than just trying to milk everything for what it's worth in the short term. So again, change up your title structures, and this is actually a really good thing for you to consider, is that as you're uploading videos, you should really be thinking about using some A/B testing. And so you can try 3 different title formats per video. And so continuously try different formats, because also if you keep using the same title structure, it could work well, but there could be better options out there for you that you just haven't explored yet. And so Also too, don't keep using the same power words like shocking, never, warning, especially if they're a little bit more inflammatory, because that is going to, just kind of come across as spam content again. So titles, keep it safe, keep it simple, but also add some variability into the mix. And I hope that this is what you're taking away from this video, is that when everything looks the same all the time and the amount of content being put out into the market is just high volume, that's going to be a flag. So that's something you want to consider. Now for descriptions, don't just put your title as your description. Don't reuse them across different videos. What I personally do is I like to load in my video or upload it, and then what happens, because I have vidIQ installed, and I'll actually leave a link to vidIQ. You can sign up and test it out for $1 for your first month. Is when you upload the video onto YouTube, it will basically generate a description for you, customized for that video, and that's what I personally use. So you don't have to like pull in a description from Claude or ChatGPT or write it manually. It'll do all that yourself, okay? And like I said, make sure every description is different and you'll be good to go, because usually that is the standard practice. Channel activity. Okay, this one is actually pretty huge. So if you made it this far, we're quite a few minutes into the video now. Give yourself a pat on the back, because this is important. So if let's say you have a channel and you're on YouTube with that channel, you're probably watching videos on that channel, listening to music on that channel. And the more human-like indicators and activity you can use on your channel, the better. So number one is just replying to comments. Replying to comments is good because it does look like human activity, but also too, it is good to build a connection with your audience, because you get those returning viewers that are going to come back because you took the time to comment. And so once that starts to compound, that's actually a very powerful, weapon or strategy you can use on your channel. Posting on your community tab, hey, you guys like this one, what do you want to see next? Or here's an interesting study I found, maybe you like this, whatever the case may be. Again, if it's just a robot running the channel, they're never going to post anything, right? But if it's someone that's human that wants to connect with their audience, that's typically what humans do, right? So again, just safety protocols, because I don't want you wasting your precious time and money building a channel that is not going to serve you, okay? Next, watch videos, like I said, on your account. You can just watch some videos on channels in your niche for research, or you can listen to your favorite Justin Bieber music or something with that account. That is what you want to do to come across as human-like. Again, the more human demonstrations you can put forward, the safer your channel is going to be. And like and comment on people's videos. Again, just act like a human and you'll be treated by YouTube like a human. Now, voiceovers. This one's huge because this one causes some issues for people. Okay, so you want to avoid overused AI voices. And I'm going to show you an example in a second of what to look for, because this is super important. But voiceovers. Let's be real, okay? Having a human voiceover artist for your Faceless channel, it's great from a quality perspective, but it's not so great from a cost perspective and a production time perspective. So what you want to do is you want to have an AI voice that is going to be somewhat unique to your channel. So it doesn't seem like when YouTube's reviewing all these channels that, hey, this voice is used on all these and your channel's probably spam, especially if those other channels get flagged as well. So what does this mean? You can, number one, clone your own voice and then use it on your channel, or ask for someone's permission to clone theirs, or the alternative is you can use a low usage voiceover. So what does that mean, Adam? Explain to me what low usage means. What low usage means is it means that when you go onto a service like 11 Labs here, you're going to see, if I scroll in, you're going to be able to see that there is this column, and it basically indicates how many uses the voice has had. So here you have 97,000, 37,000, 50,000. So my recommendation for you is using something that's going to be, say, under 50,000 uses, because the reality is it doesn't mean that everyone's using it consistently. Where you're going to run into trouble is when you start pursuing these like super high usage voiceovers, like 2 million, 5 million, etc., because then obviously that's pretty saturated and then you can run into some issues. So obviously pick the voiceover that's going to suit your channel based on the gender, the accent, etc., but also just make sure that the actual usages are rather low, and that'll keep you safe, that's for sure. And if you want to learn my $10,000 a month YouTube automation system that you can run with just 2 hours a week, click this next video.